talk about the Big Ten. Yeah, Michigan State.
Hey,
They're just a
wrong
dumpster
order.
fire.
Hey, wrong order, dummy.
Okay,
Wrong
yeah, and
order.
Michigan fans are having a great time right now, but everyone in college football hates them.
Hey.
Chad,
There you go.
I was gonna say,
Let's start with Michigan State. Obviously, I would say both teams are sad because anything in that state's terrible. But Michigan State's having a rough year. Head
Except
coach
for
got
Lakes.
Pardon?
Except for Lakes. They have good lakes.
They have some good lakes, yeah, but that's if you want to talk about college sports right now, Michigan, it's probably a hard time to talk about it. Let's get into that though. Michigan State, obviously Mel Tucker, the whole situation. He was a bad touch coach and got ran out of school, and he tried to fight it, said it was off base that he got fired, but then they were like, hold on, man, we have evidence.
Yeah.
So he's dealing with those problems. Michigan State, as far as a school, I've heard they talked about Urban Meyer maybe coming in there. I don't think that'll happen. I think they're gonna have to figure it out. I don't know. That's the bottom of the Big Ten. That's about as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Michigan, I know they're number 2 in the country right now. They're having a great season, but all that could come crashing down with like a swift, like just flick by the NCAA because they got some cheating scandal going on. Says they were stealing signs. Colin, can't remember his last name, is a student advisor or something like that, some sort of coaching assistance, and he had 30 different. He had 30 different tickets to 11 different Big Ten teams games and practice.
Yeah.
You can't be blatant, guys. I know things go on behind closed doors, but I mean, you can't be obvious about it. And they say it goes back to the first year they beat Ohio State. I don't know if all this will be
Deion
vacated.
Sanders put it best. I mean, not to give a shout out to the shirt that I'm wearing. That was actually 100% not planned. But but Deion said, yeah, you might have the game plan, but you still got to stop it. So at the end of the day, like, Michigan may have the game plan, and right now their fans are happy outside of that news. But I mean, you still got to stop it. I mean, like Kenneth Walker going over to Michigan State, without Kenneth Walker transferring there from Wake Forest, what relevance have they had recently anyway?
Yeah.
Like none?
Not really. D'Antonio got him into the playoff one year.
Yeah,
I know, but that was like 2015. Like that's
it was 84 years ago.
It's like kicking a fat kid in Kmart. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what, though. Even though it's back to 2015, that's the one we'll forget. Like if you get a trivia question, what teams have made the playoff in history? Michigan State's the one you'll forget.
Yeah, they
100%.
beat Ohio State.
But switching gears back to Michigan, though, outside of the sign stealing scandal and whatever the NCAA decides to do, they are playing pretty good football. JJ McCarthy is playing way better than I thought he was. I thought the offense was going to,
for sure.
Yeah.
I thought the offense was going to lean on Blake Corum a lot more, and honestly, I haven't heard his name a whole lot.
I think Donovan Edwards is getting all the carries.
Yeah.
No, Corum's scoring all the touchdowns still. Edwards just scored his first touchdown the other week.
Oh, well,
really?
I still don't hear his name. I don't really have the sound on many Michigan games, but
I mean, no one wants to watch them because they're all blowouts against overmatched opponents.
I'd rather watch any nail-biting Ohio State game over any blowout Michigan game. Ohio State's having a lot of troubles right now.
I think they're fixing the troubles, but they figure out how to get.
They fight.
The end of the game. Like Ohio State's fan base is on a roller coaster ride right now because Ohio State is used to blowing teams out. Fans are just drunk by the end of the first quarter and then just partying second, third, and most of fourth.
You mean the beginning of the first quarter?
No, I mean like sloppy drunk at the end of the first quarter. And then they're just partying second,
guilty as charged.
Now it's like they're sloppy drunk before the game starts, and then they're worrying for 3 quarters, and then Ohio State pulls that out at the end. So I mean, Ohio State fans just keep riding that roller coaster. Literally the only opponent that any of the teams play in the Big Ten. There's only 3 of them: Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. We've been saying that all year. Those are the only 3 that have any relevance in that conference. And it's really only Michigan and Ohio State, because right now Penn State is playing little brother to those 2.
Can't beat either team.
Yeah, they can't.
You saw what happened last week. You saw what happened.
They keep shooting them. So they even have a pass game now, and like they look halfway decent on offense, but then like for Penn State, they struggled against West Virginia in week 1, even though they had some really awesome plays. And then it just seems like they came out flat against Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Penn State's just stuck in that 3rd spot. They can't get past those 2. They're just a level below. I mean, that's frankly what they are. Actually, if we really want to put them in this, like Penn State is another miserable fan base in the Big Ten, because they want to be at that level, but they just aren't there.
They're just so close.
Aren't.
They're so close.
They're so close.
They're going to need the Ghost of Joe Pa to coach a team again.
And let me tell you, by the way, this Michigan stuff, they have been releasing more and more details as the days go on. A third-party investigator is what brought this up to the NCAA and the Big Ten. Also, they didn't just go to Big Ten games. They were going to other games like Washington, Oregon last year. He sent someone to that. And Michigan paid for the flights. That's where things get real interesting with this investigation.
I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of the top teams have to be cheating somehow. Like,
yeah,
especially honestly, like Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Clemson for a little bit. Like, I feel like a lot of them were cheating in some way.
Oh, they are. All of them are. That's called it's called NIL deals now. It used to be under closed doors.
It used to be under the table for sure.
Yeah. Now it's like, here, take our money. Come this play at Ohio State.
Yeah. It's crazy though. Remember, Jim Tressel served a 6-game NFL suspension for players getting tattoos, and now that's like completely allowed.
I thought it was selling their gear for money for tattoos.
What happened was, I believe it was specifically Terrell Pryor and a couple others. I can't say. I think maybe
delinquents.
They
jabronis.
When you play against Michigan as a starter, you get it's almost like a keychain, 24 karat gold pair of pants, right? He had traded one or 2 of those for some tattoos, and that's what sparked all of it.
Yeah.
And now you look back on it, it seems kind of dumb, you know. And I think the precedent in this whole Michigan thing is set by Bill Belichick. What would he do? He'd cheat. He got stealing signs in the NFL. I don't remember what his punishment was, but he got suspended. And I think
it was just a slap on the wrist and being like, "Don't do it again," but let Tom Brady win.
They lost a 1st-round pick out of that thing.
Yeah, they don't use 1st-round picks anyway. They take 3rd rounders in the 1st round.
You can't have Bill Belichick as your coach as the Patriots in Madden anymore, because they just don't put him in. They're just like, he could get in trouble. He's, it's going to be a lot for us to take him out again.
He actually said that he didn't want to be in the game in like 2005.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. But basically, moral of the story for the Big Ten is almost everybody is a sad fan base right now. Maybe Midwestern Blues because we're heading into cold season, but
I mean, us Ohio State fans aren't that upset. You're still
you're still on a roller coaster. It's not all
we're on the edge right now. We're waiting to see what happens at the end of the year.
I feel pretty good about it, man. What I see in them is that they're fighting. Every week they fight. It doesn't matter who it is, but it's a fight. And I think that's good when you go into a playoff, because you've been fighting all year. We're going to fight all the way to the end. And then the last time I saw a team like this was the 2014 national champion Buckeyes, when they were down and out. I forget was it Virginia Tech they lost to?
Yeah.
And then they came back and played UC, and UC and them had it was a shootout for it was 55-45 or something like that. I remember because I went to the game, and I don't think I've seen a team like that since then till now. So